Another episode of Oche Kitchen Discussions. I know this is a busy time for everybody. I hope everybody enjoyed their holidays. And thank you for joining us. For those of you who have time to tune in, I know people are traveling, going all kinds of places. And today we're back again with our brother friend, Mr. Chibuzor Paul Izidiupu, who has been graciously here for the third time talking about cashing out the cow, which means small businesses. I know most of our audience are like 30 and above. So most of us are working, some of us do jobs. So we always want to have another stream of income, something that will give us money to, make our lives easier so we can live better lives and stuff like that. So having said that, we're going to start the continuation of the show we started 2 weeks ago. But before we start, Chibuzor, thank you again for taking time out. I know you're about to go to work again. Thank you so much for graciously coming again. But before you start your presentation, a question last week. We are talking about investing in your business. She wanted to know. She wanted us to ask you how frequent the 5% return is. Is it every month or every 3 months or yearly? And she said he didn't quite explain that. How long will he hold the money and return the 5%? So you have the floor.
Okay, thank you guys. Let me on my video so that I can. Okay, thank you so much.
Okay.
IJ, thank you for inviting me again to come and speak.
You are.
Yeah, just like I say, it's a monthly thing. It's a monthly because the transaction cycle from when it is loaded from the warehouse to when it is moved to the port and when I get payments before the container moves out of the port. Because the kind of contract I have, the contract where once the container goes into the port and the shipping company loads the container, I get payment before I send final documents. Now, I don't know if I have permission to share my screen. I want to show you.
Yes, I can give you permission.
Please give me permission to share my screen. I want to show us what a documentation. The last time we spoke about export, we spoke about how it is prepared, but we didn't talk about how it is loaded, and we didn't talk about the documentation involved. Yeah, so
I'm giving you the
okay. Okay, so I want to talk about how it is loaded and also the documentation involved. So first of all, on your question, the 5% is frequent. It's a monthly thing because it takes between 34 to 35 days circle. From the numerous transactions I've done, it takes between 30 to 35 days for it to get loaded. 35 days if for example, container falls on the way, because sometimes our container falls on the road. That's the fact. Yes, we've got cases where container falls on the road, 40 feet container falls. So what we do what we call a transload. Transloading the sense that the moment the container falls, I immediately send another container to the location where that container fall. So what we do that we just transload the charcoal from the container that fell to the other container. So what we do is that the one that fell, we'll just look for a way of bringing it up. If there are any damages to the container, we'll fix them, paint them, and take them back to the ports. Because under no circumstances, in a business of exports, under no circumstances must you send in your container damaged.
Of course.
Because once you send in container money, as it's getting to the port, the custom people will flag it. Once they flag the people who work in the port, whether it's TICT is like a terminal, whether it's TICT, whether it's port and cargo, whether it's Apapa, these are the 3 different terminals we have in the port. We have TICT, port and cargo, then we have Apapa. Once they flag it up, there's a fine of 500,000 to be paid for such damages. So we make sure we fix them. It doesn't cost much. The only extra money to be spent is extra money for getting people that will transload it, and the extra money for the truck also, which can also be removed from the profitability at the end of the transaction. Now, if for example somebody is giving me money on an investment basis, it means I take the loss alone because the person is not part of the transaction circle. But if the person is part of the transaction in the sense that the person is shipping through my name, take for example, IJ wants to ship through my name and I use my company system and carry and ship. But when it's time for payment, the payment is made to IJ's account. That one is not an investor stuff because you are only using my name to ship because the client does not want a third party as a shipper. Because some of these clients outside the country, some of them use loans from bank. And from the beginning of the year also, they already had the names of company. They already sent the names of company to their banks and say, these are the company we are dealing with. And if they provide invoice to the bank that is different from these companies that they provided, the bank will not treat. And there are various documents also needed. So I think I've answered the issue of the 5%. It's a monthly thing. But just like I said, I'm open to people who want to come and learn and come under my tutelage and say, okay, I want to be shipping through you so that I can understand this transaction, I can understand how it works, I can understand the circle, I can understand the various processes it takes. When such a thing happened, like when the container falls down, and it means the money used, the extra money used to get those things done is being shared by myself and that person. It means, for example, if we are supposed to be making 200,000 each of us, whatever damages we incur, it will be removed from each of our 200,000 profitability. But if the person is giving me as an investor, it's okay. If the person is giving me as an investor, it's okay. Take money into your account, shift. But what I know is that every month, give me my 5%. What it means is that whatever loss that comes with it, I incur it. It is not the business of that person.
Yes.
If there is a loss or not. So I think I've answered that one. Now I want to share. I want to share for some of the few pictures and videos I have on how this container is loaded. 1 second. Can you see my WhatsApp on my screen, on your screen?
It's blank right now. I'm seeing a picture of your family.
Okay, hold on 1 second. Okay, so I'm sharing on my screen. So can you see my screen now?
No, we're seeing you.
You're seeing me, not my screen. 1 second. So
try again and see.
Yeah, I want to do that now, yeah. Okay. So what do you see now?
Yeah, we see your phone screen here.
Okay, so you see my WhatsApp now?
Yes.
Can you see it?
Yes.
Okay, now this is how a container is loaded. This is a 40-feet container. This is where my warehouse is. Now this is a 40-feet container. So what we do is that we take the charcoal from inside the warehouse. We send there. The guy on orange color is my younger brother. So if we take the container inside the port, we drop the bags inside the container, and the people who are in charge of loading them, they make sure they pour the container they pour the charcoal inside the container. So all these are charcoal. Now this is the type of charcoal I call barbecue. This is the barbecue type of charcoal. These are the kind of charcoal they use for furnace, to heat iron. This is the kind of charcoal they use for barbecue fish, barbecue meats. This is the type of charcoal they also use for heating also. Outside the country. Now this is also how it is loaded. These are the guys who you can see somebody carrying the bag. So what the person does is that before we load, we scale those bags and make sure that the scaling is correct. Because if you don't scale them properly, you will not get the total tonnage you need. So once it is scaled, it takes inside the container, they lose them, and they pour them inside the container. And they pour them. This is how
So
it
each
is
bag
also
is like
bagged.
how many kg?
Now, it depends on...
How much?
Go ahead with your question.
No, I was asking like a bag is like how many kg or pounds?
Now, a bag is kg. With what we do is that we do it in kg. What we do is that container, we must make sure we load close to nothing less than 22 tons on that container. Because once it gets outside the country, the tonnage reduces because of the time it took to get to the port of destination, which is the client you're sending to. So we make sure we load nothing less than 22 tons on the container. So when it gets there and the person scales it, it can be 20 tons, it can be 21 tons.
Yeah.
Depending on the number of weights lost. Depending on the number of weight loss. So this is how it is loaded. This is a 40-feet container. And we try as much as possible to capture the container number also. That container number is very, very important. So this is my warehouse. You can see all these are bags of charcoal, different type of charcoal, barbecue, ayin, and the rest of them. This is also charcoal. All these bags are charcoal. All these are my warehouse. There's an extension also by the left also to the warehouse. I also wanted to now.
I see that the container had chips of charcoal too inside it. It wasn't bad.
Yeah, bag. No, those bags of
charcoal. It wasn't bad.
Sorry, I think your network broke, so I didn't really capture you very well.
No, I said when you were showing us the container, I saw chips of charcoal that weren't bagged inside the container.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. The last time I explained that there are two types of way you package charcoal to your clients. It's either you bag them or you pour them. There's what we call bagging and pouring. This video I'm showing you is called pouring. Pouring is that you will open the bags and pour the charcoals inside the container. You are not going to load them in bags. So this type of charcoal is called pouring. And this pouring, most people that buy it are people from Europe, Poland, Turkey, and the rest of them, which is also used for barbecue. So this is what we call pouring. If I have pictures of bagging, I will show you how they load bagging. Loading bagging is also very easy because for bagging, you just put the bag inside and arrange them very well. And be calculating the number of kg of each bag. At the end of the day, you now total the number of kg of all the whole bags. That is why you get the total number of kg and the total number of tons that each container. So these are different types of charcoal and they are burning. You can see this one burning with white color is called ayin. This is the one they use for shisha. This is not barbecue. This is ayin. This is what they use for shisha. And most people that buy it are people from the Middle East, Dubai, Saudi Arabia, Jordan, Lebanon. They are the ones that buy this one. You can see any charcoal that has a white color like this. Yeah. It's very, very fantastic charcoal. To give you the carbon content is good, which is good, fantastic for shisha. Fantastic for chica. So this is how, and that's why if you check the video of the burning, you cannot hear any noise. You can't hear noise like on it because it is the type of charcoal that doesn't make noise. The quality is high, and that is why it's more expensive. It is called ayin type of charcoal. So I want to show us what we call a documentation in charcoal. 1 second. I want to show us what we call a documentation in charcoal. How do we work on the document? Now, this is a proper bill of lading. Can you see that on your screen?
Yes.
Now, this is a proper bill of lading. Now, if you check the shipper's name, you will see that the shipper's name is, this one, I shipped it through one of my friends because it's my friend's clients. So he pleaded with me to also supply to his client. So you can see his name on behalf of CC Makari, which is my company. As the shipper, my address and my email address and my phone number is there. Then we have what we call the consignee. The consignee is the person you're shipping to. And it is very important that this consignee name must be correct. If the consignee name is not correct, it means it cannot be honored when it gets to the country of destination. And the video, you see the vessel that is loading it. Now, the reason why the name of the vessel that is loading it is there is because now you can track where the vessel is. I can sit down from anywhere in the world and track where that vessel is, MSC Wave. With that number, I know if the vessel has gotten to Poland, if it has gotten to Turkey, and the rest of them. Sorry if I'm too fast to bring me back if I'm too fast.
No.
Yeah, you can see the port of loading is Tinka and Lagos. The port of discharge is the port of destination, which is Barcelona, Spain. So this particular charcoal is going to Barcelona, Spain. And the bill of lading, you can see a bill of lading number. which you can also use to track your container also, and the rest of them. The container number is also there, and the rest of them. So this is a proper documentation, a bill of lading. Now, this is what you send to the client before the client pays you. Whatever percentage you guys agree, whether it's 100%, whether it's 90%, when you send this bill of lading, then 10%, you now say what we call it TELUS release. If I can find the TELUS release, I will make it available to us so that we can also see what the TELUS release is. So let me stop sharing my screen. So that is a proper bill of lading. This is just for us to see how it works. I have other ones also, but if you guys want me to share, I can share to you then. If you can send it to whoever that you want to send it, I don't mind. Now,
that's fine.
It is also very important that we understand that there are challenges in every business. Also in this business, there are challenges. But the challenges in this business is very minimal. I've said that one of the challenges is government policy. If government wakes up tomorrow and say, we don't want you to ship charcoal again, they can wake up and say they want to ban export of charcoal. But the most important is that if you load your charcoal, and governments, for example, say they want to ban charcoal. For example, I load the charcoal this night, and by tomorrow morning there's an announcement that there's ban of charcoal. Nobody should move charcoal out of Nigeria. The government will make sure the ones that are loaded are taken out of the country. They don't seize them. Provided the charcoal is already inside the container, they will allow those containers to leave the country. Understand? The only one is that you cannot. So that is why you can't lose your money, because the one you've loaded already, and you. So that is why I try as much as possible not to have so much in my warehouse. I try as much as possible not to have so much stored in my warehouse because of the lessons in the past. So that if, for example, such policies come up, the loss will be so minimal for me, not the investor, because the investor has no business whether there's ban in export of charcoal or the rest of them. So this is how it is. Now, also the most important also is contract. I've said it before. The kind of contract you sign is also very, very essential. If you sign a contract that is not good, then it becomes a problem. You will be at the mercy of the client. That is why it is very important that whatever contract you sign, you must make sure you get your money. If not at least 80% to 90% of your money before you send the original document to the client. Now, the bill of lading I sent us is what we call a draft bill of lading. There's one we call an original bill of lading. An original bill of lading is the one the client can take to the port and clear the charcoal over there outside the country.
After paying,
Poland or Turkey. But this draft bill of lading, the client cannot use it to clear the charcoal, because it is a draft. The shipping company have not authorized that document to be used. So that is how export of charcoal. So once you get your money, whether it's 80%, 90%, you can now go to the shipping line. There are different types of shipping line who will do export of. If all shipping lines do export of charcoal, but the most unique shipping line most of the clients use is MSC. Why? Is because MSC have vessel coming to Nigeria every week. So what it means is that every week there's a vessel that comes to Nigeria to load your charcoal. But if you use shipping line like Akas, Upper Lloyd, those ones, they don't have vessels coming every week. Some of them have once in 2 weeks. Some of them have, they are cheaper. Upper Lloyd and Akas is cheaper than MSC. But the problem is that those ones will keep your container longer inside the ports. And by that, you are not making money. So some of us prefer to use the one which is expensive, but can move very fast. Because the difference actually is not so much if you check the difference in freight. Now, who is in charge of freight payment? Freight payment has nothing to do with you, the shipper, who is shipping charcoal to the client, because it is very important that in export, you don't sign what we call CIF. Do not sign the contract of CIF. Now, what is CIF? CIF means that you who is shipping the charcoal is going to be the one to pay for freight.
Cost insurance.
And it is very
What does CIF stand for? What does CIF stand for?
Cost insurance and freight.
And freight. So it is very, very important that you are very careful not to pay. If you pay yourself, thank you, my brother, for also assisting me with that. Now, if you pay, that's freight, and anything happens to that container, you are at lost. You are at lost. But so what it means is that you must make sure that your contract is what we call FOB, freight on board. Freight on board is very, very. Freight on board means the shipping line will load it for you. Then when the container gets there, the consignee, the people who are buying are always called consignee. You sending charcoal, you are the shipper. The person who is buying from you is the consignee. So when it gets abroad, the consignee will be the one to pay for freight. That is why it is called freight on board, which is FOB. So it is very important that your contract are also in that line. So for people who are interested to know how a
I have a
contract looks
question.
like, go ahead.
I have a question. What if somebody has a business? Like, okay, I'm in Nigeria. I'm shipping African foods to. Okay, I live between Nigeria and abroad. Okay, I'm a business person. I'm always traveling, right? I have my own. I ship like African foodstuffs from Nigeria to America, and I'm supposed to go clear it. Like I ship and I travel and I go clear it. So what kind of like do I do the CIF or FM? You
Since
understand
it
what I'm
is
trying
your
to
business,
say?
one of the most important things, remember, your Nigerian company cannot clear a goods in the US. It is
Oh,
very, very
okay.
important. Your Nigerian company, for example, I am CC Makari. CC Makari cannot go and clear a goods in Poland or clear a charcoal in Dubai. I must get a company registered in Dubai.
Yes.
So what it means is that you must have a company, and obviously for you
Yes.
to involve yourself in export of import of foodstuff business from the US, it means you need to have a company in the US. That's a fact. If you
Exactly.
don't have
Yeah.
a company, you cannot be able to clear those things. So what you do is that since you are the one on both ends, you are the one that has a company in Nigeria, you are the one that has a company in
America.
US, you can do CIF.
Yeah.
You can do it because
Okay.
CIF can actually save you some costs. There are some small percentage advantage in the sense that the prices might be a little bit lesser. So you can actually do
Okay.
CIF because you are the one on both ends. So there's no risk for you.
Okay.
Understand?
Gotcha.
But if you are sending to somebody, a client, please do FOB so that the client is the one in charge of freight. So that if tomorrow the shipping line increases the freight amount even before container gets there, it doesn't concern you anymore. It's none of your business. The consignee will take charge of that. So I think I've explained how the process looks like and everything. So if anybody needs a sample of how a bill of lading is, the person should let me know. I'll send to you. You can forward, or you can give the person my number. I can forward them how the bill of lading is, so that the person is aware. If they need videos of this charcoal and everything, for as many of them that are free, that want to visit my warehouse in Kwara State, let me know. I can send them the address, send them my younger brother's number, and they can. But those of you that want to visit also should know that the place you are going is a typical bush. Now bush, now you go. So you have to prepare yourself that you're going to inside bush also, and be in charge of the risk and everything of the traveling to that location. So I think this is that on export of charcoal. Now, if any question on export of charcoal, please, I want us to kindly let me know on that. So
I have another question.
Any questions? So I can move briefly. Okay.
Yeah, I have another question before you move. You've been talking about shipping. I know people who ship things from outside Nigeria to Nigeria complain about customs. You've not complained about like the customs, the excise, like any issues with the customs about shipping and receiving things. So how do you maneuver that?
Okay, thank you. I think your experience of custom, your experience of the problem of custom has to do with imports. Is that to do with imports? A lot of because import has a lot of in the sense that the kind of things we import into Nigeria, customs are more stringent. They are more they put more emphasis on imports more because we import a lot of products that are not supposed to be exportable. Some of them are contraband, some of them go through customs, some of them due to bribe and the rest of them. Now, provided there is no ban on charcoal, custom can't stop your charcoal. What we do is that we pay to custom. Now, for you to ship charcoal, there's an amount to pay to what we call, there are people who are called forwarders. Forwarders are the people who are in charge of making sure that your goods enter the port and they liaise with shipping company. It's just like importers, import agents, all these agents that do imports. They also have agents that do export. Yes, there's one fantastic one we have in our alumni in Lagos chapter that I work with also, Good Luck Obo. Very fantastic guy also. One of the guys that I brought under my wings, and the guy has been doing so well on it. So he also does both imports. He also does the import part and the export part. So what we do is that once we load, as the container goes through my two to Coconuts to inside the port, the custom people will tell you to open the container. Once you open it, now mind you, that pouring we are loading, I did not show you pictures of how we covered them and close the container. We use wood. By the time we load them, we use wood and cover them so that those containers, when you open them, they don't just fall out of the container. So those wood
I was about to
wedges
ask you
those
that. Yeah.
charcoal. Yeah, so those wood wedges those
Yeah.
charcoal. So once you open and they look and they confirm that it's charcoal, and you are a registered company, they all have the names of registered exporters in Nigeria, and you are a registered exporter, they will just tell you to close it back and you go into the ports. But by that, you would have already paid what we call custom fee. As of the last time, custom fee is 600K that we paid. 600K, which I heard that there's an ongoing meeting to reduce it to like 200,000 to 300,000. So once you pay,
awesome.
once you pay, it was already written in the database of custom that your container is coming into the port. So once you present those documents, they allow you to go. Lastly, one of the also thing I did not talk about is payments. How do we receive payments? Now, once you go into export business, you open your company, for example, CC Macari Company Limited. CC Macari Company Limited, you open an account in the bank. There are two types of accounts you can open. You can either open a normal domiciliary account or you open what we call an NXP account. What is an NSP? An NSP account is like an export account where you receive export proceeds into the bank. Now, the difference between an NXP account and a normal domiciliary account. No, domiciliary account means either a dollar or an euro or a pounds account. That is called a domiciliary account. Now, the NSP account also is also a dollar, a pounds, or an euro account, depending on what your client is paying you for. For example, my client in Poland is paying me in euro. My client in Turkey is paying me in dollar. So I have both euro, dollar, and pounds accounts. And for me also, if I'm negotiating with client, I know how much to give a client in dollar. I know how much to give a client in euro. If you're giving a client, if for example, you're giving a client $200 as price for per ton of container, you will give the person like 180 euro because euro is higher than dollar. You will not give the person $180. So for us, for people like me, I know how to calculate those things and mistakes are not, we don't form those kind of mistakes. Now, the difference between an NSP account and a normal account is that an NSP account, for example, at the end of the month, CBN pays you. CBN pays you for the number of dollars you bring to the bank. In the sense that once that money comes into your NSP account, there's what we call repatriation of funds. The moment you open an NSP account and you export charcoal, you must make sure you repatriate that funds back to Nigeria. Now, once the funds comes back to Nigeria, you have to submit all the documents, which is the bill of lading, the clearance certificates from the port to show that those charcoal has left Nigeria. Now, once you present it to the bank releases your funds to you. So you cannot sell your phone. You can sell your phone using the I&E window, in the sense that the bank will assist you and sell your funds to an importer that needs that money. So, but for me, I don't do that. I don't do that because our Nigerian bank is taking advantage of it, in the sense that they want you to sell your money lesser than what you want to sell. Let's say, for example, dollar is 1,200. Because it's an NXP account, the bank will want you to sell it at a bank rate, and which is not convenient for us. So me, I don't like paying to an NXP account. I like paying to my normal domiciliary account, so that once the money comes, the bank does not have any business. After all, they don't give me loan to do business. Why should they tell me how to spend my money or how to sell my money? So I sell my money the way I want. I sell my money to whoever I want to sell, provided I'm not selling to a bad
missing out, even if they give you. Even if you sell your money at the bank rate, when CBN pays you back, don't you make back the money? No.
No, you can't. Even if CBN pays you, it cannot commiserate. It can't. So understand? You will lose some money. You will lose some money. So me, what I do is that I sell to whatever amount I want to sell. So that is how you receive payments. And payments are done through what they call telegraphic transfer. Telegraphic transfer means the person is transferring from his account to your account. Now, if you are into export business, be mindful of doing what we call letter of credit. Don't involve yourself in letter of credit, because most of these white guys, they are more dubious than even us in Nigeria here. So if, for example, you go and sign a contract and you use letter of credit, by the time you ship the charcoal, because what letter of credit means is that it is the communication of your bank and the bank of the consignee that communicates. So it is a bank-to-bank thing. Sometimes we've seen cases where those things were revoked. You sent container already, you sent original document to the client, and stories start coming in about the letter of credit. A lot of people can say, how is it possible that the bank could be held liable to it? My sister and my brother, we have seen these things happen and nothing is done. Nothing is done.
True.
So yeah, so you will even be there. They'll be telling you they sent mail to this bank, they sent mail to that bank. Before you know, you are spending hours and your money is stuck somewhere. You cannot do business with it. So please avoid letter of credit when you are negotiating for a contract in export. Let it be telegraphic transfer, so that the person pays you and everybody is happy at the end of the day. So I hope I've cleared everything about export of charcoal, from the loading to the documentation,
yes, sir,
to the contract and to the pay. So anybody that asks questions, I think somebody called me yesterday from this platform. I've forgotten the man's name. Also, we had a lengthy discussion. And I know by next year, I've told him if he's ready, he should just let me know. Since he lives in the UK here, we can meet, and if he sees he wants to come under my tutelage, I'm ready to teach him how to fish, if it's something he wants to do. Now let me quickly, I have 12 minutes, so let me quickly talk about the second thing I want to talk about, which is palm kernel, production of palm kernel oil.
That's what I've been waiting for.
Yeah, very
Are you serious? You're interested in that?
I say, please, we are still going to have this conversation again, because I cannot exhaust palm kernel business today. Please, if next week is free, I will be free next week, the whole of next week. When I mean the whole of next week, I'm not going to be around, even if you can take till 9, 10 o'clock. I'm not going to exhaust by 8 and leave. So if it's also can have this conversation, we can conclude it. Now, for palm kernel business, it's a very lucrative business that have a very long lifespan. It's actually a business you can do and live for your children, because the lifespan is so big, in the sense that the machines they use for palm kernel business can last up to 50 years. All you need to do is to make sure you maintain the machine. Oil leads, make sure you grease it. Once, like
do
for
you
example,
grease it with the palm oil?
Not with the palm oil. Palm oil, palm oil they spoil. Now palm oil
now.
Now they spoil the machine. So what is the same way they spoil
no,
the machine?
Engine oil. I think.
We use engine oil. Sorry, let me use the engine oil. Dodgers, thank you so much for reminding me that it is engine oil, so that people do not think it is ordinary oil or palm kernel oil.
So it was me. I just wanted to use palm oil. It was me.
So now, for that one, it is a business that is, the lifespan is so large, and it is a business I want to go into. I've not started it. I'm almost 90% complete in the assembling of the factory, and hopefully, 1 second. Hopefully, if it is finished on time by first quarter of next year, we intend to start
production.
We intend to start production. I wanted to show us what the machine looks like.
Okay,
But
let me give you back the screen sharing. Let me give it back to you.
Okay, give it back to me. Let me see if I can.
Okay, you have it now. Yeah.
Okay.
1 second. Okay, have you given me back the screen?
Yeah.
Okay. So once I finish sharing, you can take it off. Oh, sorry.
I think it came on and went off.
How can I remove this now? Sorry, stop sharing. 1 second. Okay. Hope you guys can see my screen now.
Yes, we can. Yeah.
Now, this is how a machine look like.
That's the one you said you're doing.
That is the one I bought. That is the one I bought. Look at 2 of them. 1 second. These are the 2 of them. Now, the motor, that thing on red that is long, that is what we call a motor. That's the most expensive thing. And every other thing you see I've done in Aba.
That's
They are
pretty
done now.
serious.
That is why the cost for you to buy a machine like this outside the country, brand new one, it will take you like close to 20 something to 30 million. One of it. But if you just buy the motor alone and you couple the rest, because the motor is the most important thing, and couple the rest in Aba, you will spend between 18 million to get it done. Okay, this is my warehouse. This is at the building stage of the
Can't
warehouse.
Aba people do the motor?
No, they can't. They can't.
They
If they do it, they will give you the one that crushes granules instead of pancane oil. So this is the machine. Before I explain anything else, I want to go up my screen. This is the machine. This is how long it is. So this is the place where they are coupling it and everything. So once they couple, they will paint it. It will look like you don't go even know say na Aba people couple. I go to say na from abroad and buy. So this is how it looks like. So let me go back. IJ, you can stop me from sharing my screen.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
So that is how a machine look like. Now that business is a very lucrative business in the sense that it's a business that have a long lifespan, just like I said. The lifespan is so long in the sense that that machine can last you 20, 30, 40, 50 years if the maintenance is good. Now, the business have different phase. In the sense that pancane, that udaki, that pancane shell, there is nothing that is a waste in it. And when you have a business where nothing is a waste, that kind of business is the business one should really look at, because nothing is a waste in that business, in the sense that the pancane, once you crush the oil, it has 42% oil. So once you crush the 42, that is where you get your udaki oil. Now there's what we call chaff. That chaff is what they use for piggery. So what it means is that you have your oil, you sell it, the chaff, you're selling it. There is nothing you are throwing away. You're not throwing anything away. Everything there is money. There's what we also call slush. Slush that comes out. Slush is one liquid thing that comes out. That slush also, they sell it. So there is nothing now. For some people who want to do it from the palm oil stage, I don't care about the palm oil stage. So once you get pancane, you squeeze commodity red oil from it, you get the shell, you break it, and you get the little pancane shell inside. It is that little pancane shell inside that we crush.
Okay.
You will be surprised, Aki. You'll be surprised at the kind of oil that comes out of that Aki. It will shock you. That Aki has a lot of oil. If it is dried properly, it has a lot of oil. And that is why you must make sure at all times you have dry pancane. Because once it is wet, you don't get the desired oil. Now, IJ, you asked a question, can't Aba couple that in? Now, the problem is that if you go into the business and you don't know the right machine to buy, it becomes a problem. Because anybody, if you go to Aba, they will just tell you, we have the machine they will give you. But once they give you the machine, that machine will be crushing the pancane. But the machine will not bring out the total number of oil in that pancane. That machine they will give you, the local motor you buy in Nigeria, will only give you 20% of the oil. So what it means is that the shaft that is coming out still have oil. So if you see you are losing money, there is no how you make. That is why you hear say many people have opened this kind of business and they folded. They folded because they bought the wrong machine. So buying the right machine is very, very important. So once you get this machine, whatever number you have, you can start with 1, you can start with 2. Now, once this machine, because there are some of these machines, local machines, that it is meant for granules, not for pancane. Pancane is more harder. So it needs a harder motor. Granite is more softer. So you cannot use a machine they use to crush granite to use it and crush pancane. You cannot get the desired results. That is the fact. Now, there are different stages of this business. You can decide that, okay, I don't have 20 million to buy one machine. I don't have 18 million. I want to be doing the pancane on. So what you do is that if you have a palm fruit, you can actually be gathering the pancane and be selling it. Anybody that wants to involve himself in that level of the business, where you have pancane fruit, you bring it down, you sell to people, or you go to people who do red oil. Once they finish their red oil, you tell them to sell the pancane for you. You use your hand and break it and remove the shell and supply. For anybody who is involved in doing that level of it, the person should let me know. I can give you client of people. That thing cannot stay in your warehouse for one day. If you have it now, it cannot even stay in your warehouse for 12 hours. Somebody is coming to pick it up because it's a scarce commodity. So many people are looking for it. So many complaints, because that is what they use for clean. That is what they use for soap. Udaki oil, most companies refine it to groundnut oil. And that is why you see, if you go to
Camela
Owerri,
oil.
yes,
Camela
exactly.
oil.
If you go to Owerri, you will see truck lying down. There's a company in Owerri called Trendy. Trendy is one of the biggest refiner of palm kernel oil. They turn the Udaki oil to groundnut oil. They refine it. Some of the truck who come to that Trendy, they go to the north. Because this business is not in the north. You can't find it anywhere in the north. So most of the north people, they come to the east to buy. They come to Enugu, Anambra, Onitsha, and Owerri to buy. So you can say, okay, you want to set up the factory, and you set up the factory, you start crushing. And when you start crushing, your oil can... See, there are companies that will tell you that if you have 1 ton of oil, they will send their truck to come and carry it. Because they need it. Because the things they use this oil to do are things we consume every day in Nigeria. You cannot wash your clothes without soap and cream and then clean. You cannot go out without rubbing cream on your face. You cannot cook without groundnut oil. See the end of this world. So you can say a business whose finished product can be there to the end of world. Don't you think that business is crazy? It's a business, and nothing is a waste in that business. So I've just told you different stage. If you say you want to only be selling palm kernel, you don't have money to build factory and be crushing. You can do that. All you need to do is to make sure you have a place that there's too much palm fruit. And that's why I say Imo State is in the Imo State government, they don't have foresight. You know that Adapam, you know,
that's what it was meant.
Fruit in Adapam. In fact, the government recently, I don't know if they still functioning, they said they want to start crushing to Udaki oil, to groundnut oil. They have not seen them come out to say, okay, we've done. Because what I know is that what Adapam does now, they do red oil. That one is confirmed. They do red oil in Adapam. What I'm not sure is that Adapam do not do the Udaki oil. Which the government, or the way I read that the government wants to start it. So most people buy from Adapam. They go there. But for you to have connection to buy palm kernel from Adapam is very, very difficult. So people buy from MBC, people buy from Elele, people buy from Akwa Ibom, which is Uyo, and people buy from Iyala. People buy from Iyala. So these are the different places in Imo State you see palm kernel. Then in the west, where I'm building my factory, people buy from Ijebu-Ode, people buy from Ondo, people buy from Edo. For me, once the factory starts operation, I want to be buying from Ijebu-Ode, Edo State, and Ondo State.
So your palm kernel business is in Yoruba land also?
The one I just showed you guys is in Egbe, in Lagos.
You don't want to do anything in the east?
Now, yes, I'm moving to the east. Is one step at the... Now, the reason why I situated this one in Lagos is because I live in Lagos. In Lagos, so I cannot put a business in the east. I live with my family in Lagos. Forget the fact that I'm in the UK. I also go back to Nigeria also. At least in a quarter, I go to Nigeria once or twice. So that is why. So the plan is that start this one in Lagos, manage it. Then from first quarter of next year, we move to the east. The east is the target, not even in Lagos. Lagos is just a stepping stone. The target is the east. Because the east is where you have proximity to materials. So much materials are there. But it is only important, just like I said, that you set up a business where you stay so that you can manage, especially at this earlier stage of the business, so that you can manage it and leaving it in the hands of somebody.
Yeah.
So that business is very important. So once you...
Somebody muted you. Okay.
No, I got a call. One also important thing is that you also set up the business where they have lights and where you will not play. For example, if you live in Lagos, for example, you want to set up kind of business, you take it to Agor, First Stack, Lekki. You can't make money now. You can't make money because you will pay so much in manpower. You cannot employ Lekki boy and pay Lekki boy 30,000 naira a month or 50,000 a month. In Lekki, there's no lights. That's the fact. There are more lights in rural area than urban area.
Are you serious?
Yes, because of the usage. Because of the usage, most urban rural areas, they don't. How many of them has gadgets? How many of them has gadgets that consume electricity? They don't.
Energy.
So that's why in places like Ekpe, for example, there's so much electricity is constant there. I'm not saying that there are places in Lekki. There are places in Lekki where you can also find light also. You can also find light. But I'm saying that Why,
Yeah, but
before
the
you get this
voltage
kind
will
of
be low.
places also, it will be very difficult. So it's better you take it to a place where you know that you are not going to pay much in manpower. You are not going to pay much in land. In land. Because for you to buy one plot of land in Lekki, you spend up to 50 million to buy one plot. But in Ekpe, with 1.6 million, you buy one plot of land. So these are the things you need to look at when sorting out this kind of business. For example, if you want to set up kind of business in Imo State, you will not go and put this in the heart of Owerri now. You won't. Because to get a plot of land in the heart of Owerri, you will spend up to like 10, 20 million for one plot. Why not take it to Avu? Why not take it to Ebu? These are places where you will still find land there and you will get land cheaper there. So these are, and there you will get manpower because you are employing the local community there. So the local community you are employing there, you are not paying, you won't pay them so much than what you pay somebody who lives in Owerri. So these are the things you need to look at in the business before setting up the business. So this business is also very, very important that you understand how it works. Now, these machines are also very important. Once you have these machines in place, you need to have power, you need to have, then in the setting up of the machine, you need to have what we call a dryer. A dryer is where you dry your palm kernel. For example, if you buy the palm kernel from Ondo State to your warehouse, you need to dry it because some of them might be soaked in water. Some of them water go don't touch it. So you put it in the dryer. The dryer will heat it up to make sure it is dried before the reservoir will not take it from the dryer or to the machine. Then the machine will crush. As the machine crush, it has a pipe that the oil goes to where it's supposed to go. The shaft goes to where it's supposed to go. So it's an automated type of machine. It's an automated. You have to set up the automation so that now, if you don't want to set up the automation, it means you have to spend more manpower. In the sense that if it is automated, it means you are not going to employ more people because it is automated. But if it is not automated, you have to employ more people because you need people to be carrying the palm kernel from the floor to the machine. So what it means is that you are employing more. So automated is more expensive, but it saves you. Automated lifespan is so long because it saves you time. In terms of so
and energy,
it is very, very important. So I think we will talk more. Maybe from next week, I can also talk about the processes, talk about the cost, talk about the profitability, and talk about the durability of the business. And also, if there are anybody who is interested to know more, I'll let the person know. I think I've passed my time anyway. So thank you, guys.
OJ, do you have anything to ask him before he goes?
No, we can always ask him when next he comes back. Let's let him go to work.
All right, Chibuzor, thank you so much. We love you from the bottom of our heart.
You always come through for us,
no problem.
and we're grateful.
Before I go next week, if I can able to complete.
We'll do it next week. OJ, next week is fine,
If I
right?
can complete the palm kernel, then I will not talk about iron scrap. I will talk about iron scrap, and I'll talk about logistics. These are the two other ones I'll talk about.
I know me and Benson have talked about the scrap. Okay, that would be awesome. Yeah,
that would be nice.
Thank you.
No problem.
Thank you, guys. Thank you guys again for joining us.
Benson, Dr. Chibuzor, thank you so much for your time. And other people who are online.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, guys.
Thank you very much for coming. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.